Mr. Moussavi, the judgment has questioned your credibility as well, and it mentioned about the witness forgery of your witness and your sentence, prison sentence as well.
Sorry, it is not a sentence. A contempt of court is civil
of court,
contempt. Civil contempt is not a sentence. Civil contempt is when, as a matter of conscience, you are incapable of carrying out the order of an oppressive government at one time. Thousands of people are conscientious objectors and they go to prison. One of the most notable was Mr. Mandela. I could have come out, I could have purged that contempt within 20 minutes. As a matter of conscience, I could not. The Oxford University Law faculty was so outraged by that decision that very soon after that I was appointed as a head of public interest law with a mandate to go and look at these things. So those who say that it's a fine attempt at a spin, it is my biggest badge of honor to have refused to give in when my conscience was telling otherwise.
Okay, Mr. Kaveh, you said in your interview that you met with the General Malik who introduced you as the intelligence officer from Pakistan.
I have never said that. What I've said is he alleged that he was. Let the record show, I am making no accusations against the Pakistani military. I am making no accusations against the Pakistani intelligence services. I am making no accusations against any official who came here pretending to be part of the military establishment. I have no way of knowing that this man who pretended to be a general and his name was Malik, I have no way of knowing that. What I can say is this: anyone in my seat that day at a time when the delegation is here calling me coincidentally, is it a coincidence? There are 365 days in a year, and if somebody calls you on the day when the delegation is here and is very well briefed that they're going to meet the National Crime Agency and tells you they'd like to meet you, you take their bona fides as read, and of course you do a little bit more due diligence, which is what I did. This was the time when we were negotiating with the government of Pakistan, and so it would have been perfectly legitimate for me to accept the bona fides and take at face value the representations made to me that a member of the delegation wished to see me. The real question you should be asking is when I addressed this to the government of Pakistan, they did nothing about it. That's the real question.
Now, my question is, there is the person introduced as a General Malik. Do you met him before or do you met him after, or there's a one meeting and he asks you straight to give me a cut?
I have never met him before, I've never met him after. When he asked me, he didn't ask me straight for a cut. He first introduced his credentials, which were government documents, NAB documents, which he showed me, as well as a draft contract. At the time, any reasonable person applying the standards of prima facie evidence, on the face of it, the evidence was corroborative and compelling. I agreed to meet and I agreed to continue the discussion. The discussion broke off the minute he said there are people in Pakistan who are wondering why you should be making this much money. I was a bit confused for a few minutes. I said, I'm not making any money until I find the money. And that agreement is that if I find, I will take money from the thieves and not from the people of Pakistan. He said, well, those are just details. The reality is you're going to make a certain amount of money, and people are saying, well, we should have a share of that. I was absolutely shocked, so shocked, and to ask him to repeat that. And he saw that I was shocked. He rephrased it slightly more diplomatic language, and my response was, waiter, the gentleman will pay his own coffee bill, I will pay my own coffee bill. And he continued to attempt, and I said, sir, General, Mr. I don't know who you are, and from what you're saying, it is extremely improbable that you're a member of the Pakistani military. I am not going to continue this conversation. This very conversation is a criminal offense in this country, and I am going to report this to our lawyer straight away. When the waiter came, I said, bring one bill for me and one bill for the I paid it, didn't stand, and left. I have never heard from the gentleman again. He's clearly not a gentleman who's trying to defraud the people of Pakistan. But what I have done is immediately, within 10 minutes, reported it to our lawyers and told them to report it to the government of Pakistan. The real question you should be asking is, why did the government of Pakistan did nothing about it?
Now, my question is that supplement question is, who introduced? Because you said you went to Hampstead to meet him, and there is a one-on-one meeting. So my question is, how is come there is someone call you or someone introduce you, or how you go from Oxford to Hampstead to meet him I think you know him, or someone introduced you, or you trust.
No, the credentials were compelling. Why? It was at the time when I knew the delegation were here.
Yeah.
Somebody calls you and says the delegation's here. Yes.
And the delegation was here.
And the delegation was here.
Okay.
And somebody calls you and they're here and they're part of the delegation. I said, well, I should be delighted to have a continued.
So can you mention that who called you?
It was, I believe it was the same gentleman.
Same gentleman.
I believe so.
Okay.
Mr.
I don't remember exactly what I do know is I received a telephone call on my mobile phone, unknown number,
Okay.
saying, good morning, Mr. Oh, good afternoon, was it? Good morning, Mr. Moussavi, I think it was.